4. Okay, which one is the first one?
Gender.
Alright, gender. First comes case, and then gender, then number, and then time. So every noun has these 4 dimensions. In terms of case, how many cases are there? 3. Which ones?
Nominative.
Nominative, yes.
Objective.
And then
Objective.
objective. I will call it N, O, and then possessive. So 3 cases. Every noun must be in one of these cases, okay? Alright, in terms of gender, how many genders are there? 2 masculine. I'll call it M, and feminine. F. Number, how many?
3.
3. Singular.
Double.
Double. And plural. Alright, kind. How many kinds? 2. Which ones?
Proper.
Common.
Common.
Yes. Common noun and proper noun. So last time we covered these 2. We completed these 2 actually. So that's what we will revise inshallah today. And then we'll move on to number and kind in the next lecture inshallah. So we said that every noun must be in one of these 3 cases. Now how would we identify which case a noun is in? We can identify by looking at the word itself, okay? So not all nouns have similar shape when they are in one of these cases. So that's why we have to divide the nouns in 3 categories in terms of case, okay? So first category is, so this is the division of noun. Category 1. Division of noun in terms of case. Okay. How, sorry, this is yours. How a noun will change its shape when it moves from one case to the other. So this is, there are 3 categories. Category 1, I will call them category 1, category 2, and category 3. Okay. They have Arabic names, which I'll tell later. Now, first category. This is the biggest category. What happens is that when you are in nominative, objective, and possessive, so the identification is that this first category has tanween in its i'rab. It has tanween in its i'rab. You know what i'rab is? Do you remember? The last haraka of the word is called i'rab. So this category has tanween in its i'rab. So either the i'rab is this, 2 dhammas, or it is 2 fathas, or it is 2 kasras. So this is the first category. If you see one of these at the end of any word, you will know that it is from category 1. Like for example, if you see 2 dhammas, so you would know that its i'rab is tanween, so it is from category 1. Now how to know which case is it? So for that, the i'rab is two dhammas here, and in objective case it becomes two fathas, and here it becomes two kasras. Okay, so that's how i'rab of first category changes from one case to the other. Make sense? For example, now if we have zalimun, we know that zalimun is nominative. And the translation is cruel, unjust. So when it changes to objective case, what does it become? Zaliman. Zaliman. And here, in possessive case, zalimin. Alright?
What's the meaning?
Zalim is cruel, unjust.
Yeah, the man.
All three cases it means the same. But the translation of the sentence may become different depending on the case. So when we study the structure of a sentence, then there will be minute differences. But for now, all three would mean cruel or unjust. Okay? So similarly, if we have another word, what is this? Kadhibun. What does it mean?
Bye.
Liar. So let me write kadhib. So right now we're studying first category, in which there is a tanween in the i'rab, and it's double dhammas in nominative case. In possessive it becomes double fathas, and in possessive case it becomes double kasras. Then there is another observation here, that when it is double fathas, we append an alif here. Okay, we don't append an alif here, we don't append an alif here, but in the double fatha case, we append an alif. And why do we do that? Come on, you should know.
Because
Yeah, Hazrul should know.
you mean
This alif, why have I?
because at the end we pronounce it.
Will pronounce it, right. What happens is that we don't pronounce the i'rab. Okay, if this is the last word of a sentence, or if it is the only word, we don't pronounce the i'rab. So we say zalim. Okay, and similarly, if it is this, we'll say zalim. Okay, but in case of objective case, we write it as this, so that we could say zalima. Okay, so we pronounce this alif in objective case. That's why we put it there. Okay, we drop this tanween from all three, but we say this alif in objective case.
So at the end we read Dali Moon, Dali Ma, Dali Mi.
No, if you want to read proper, you will say zalim, and you will stop. You don't pronounce the i'rab. And here,
At the end of this sentence. Right?
yeah, you don't. Or if it is the only, but outside the class we won't. We'll say zalim. These two and zalim are this. Okay. Now, I said there were two exceptions when we don't append an alif. What were those?
Tamabuta.
Yeah, ta marbuta, if it comes at the end, or if this pattern comes at the end. Alif and hamza, and waw and hamza. If either of these come at the end, we don't append an alif. Examples were here, for example, ayatun. Ayatun means sign, or lesson, or verse. So what will it become here? ayatan, and I won't append an alif. And here it will become ayatin. And why don't I append an alif in this case? Why?
Because it's already.
Because ta marbuta is never pronounced. When it comes at the end, or if it is the only word, I don't say ayat. Like this case, I say zalim. I pronounce meme. But here I don't pronounce ta. I say ayah. Okay? So it is ayah here, it is ayah here, ayah here. That's why there is no need to put alif. Right? That's the reason. And so all the words that have ta marbuta at the end, we won't append an alif in the objective case. Like other examples, sayyatun, which means evil deed. And then jannatun means garden or paradise, and so on. And here, for example, if you have sama'un, which is sky, here it will become sama'an, sama'in. I didn't append an alif here because it already has hamza, so we'll say it's sama'a. And other example for waw and hamza is su'un, su'an, su'in. So these are, and this covers the first category. Alright? Do you have any questions so far? Sama'un is sky and su is evil. Alright, so the first category, it's very simple to identify that it has tanween in its i'rab. And how does it change? In the nominative case, it is double dhamma, and it changes to double fatha in objective case, and from objective to possessive it becomes double kasra. And since it changes every time, the name in Arabic is mu'arab, munsarif.
Name of the category?
Name of this category 1. But we will call it category 1 because it's a difficult name for you maybe initially. But it says Mu'arab Munsarif, whose i'rab changes. Okay? And then we said that in the objective case we append an alif so that we could pronounce it. But we don't append it in these two exceptions, when there is ta marbuta at the end, or when it is either alif hamza or waw hamza. Alright? That is the first category. It is the biggest category, and almost 80 to 85% nouns are from this category. They have tanween at the end, and it changes like this: un, an, in. That's how you can remember it. Un, an, in. Nominative, objective, possessive. Alright, let's talk about the other category now. And this category, category 2, it does not have, maybe here. So that was category 1. Now category 2. Its i'rab is not tanween. Okay. So what is its i'rab then? It is single dhamma here, which changes to fatha and stays at fatha. Okay. Category 2 does not have a tanween, right? Otherwise it would become first category. So it does not have a tanween, and in its nominative case it has single dhamma, and it becomes single fatha in the objective case and remains single fatha in the possessive case. And since we don't have tanween, we don't append any alif in this case. Alright? And mostly the names of, so there are 15 to 20% nouns in this category, and mostly the names of women and countries are from this category. There are some names of men also. Alright, so examples. For example, Makkatu. Makkah is the name of the city. This is Makkatu. Okay, and this is from this category. How do we know? Because there is no tanween. It is not Makkatun. Okay. It's Makkatu. And what will it become here? Makkah. And here? Makkata. It will remain Makkata.
The first one is Makkatu.
Yes. So there are many other, like I said, names of women, like Zainabu. Zainabu. What will it become? Zainaba. And here? Zainaba. Zainab is the name of a girl or a woman. Yes.
So this kind of sentence will never have tanween.
No, they will not have tanween. This is a noun, not a sentence.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Just no. Okay. Just stretching. Similarly, Aishatu, Aishata, Aishata, right? Fatimatu, Fatimata, Fatimata. Ibrahimu, Ibrahima, Ibrahima. Imranu, Imrana, Imrana. All right. And since the Arab does not always change, it changes from here to here, but it does not change from here to here. Its name is Mu'arab. Mu'arab غير منصرف. Mu'arab غير منصرف. You don't have to write غير here. This is Sakin here. Ghair means without. Alright? So this is the second category. Easy to remember. Does not have tanween. Mostly has names. And there is a dhamma in nominative case. Changes to fatha in objective case. And stays at fatha in the possessive case. So if I give you other names, you should be able to know first of all that this is from second category, and it is in the nominative case. How will you change it to possessive case? Yes.
Fatha at the end.
Okay, so it will become Imrana. So that's simple, and doesn't have to be names only. It could be like other words, masajidu. Masajidu means mosques, and this is also from second category. So how will it change to objective case? Masajida, and then here masajida. So I said that in the possessive case it brings fatha and not kasra. But there are two exceptions when it can bring kasra here. But we'll study them later. Okay. For now, just know at the back of your mind that there may be some exceptions for this. Okay. All right. Yes.
Yeah, we can tell what's the category and the message.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we know if it's from second category?
Well, by looking at this. Okay, give me. I tell you, like it is any other word, maybe saw that one. So here you have tanween. So which category is it? First. Here you don't have. So which category is it? Second.
It's written in this way, like everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. So this will always have a tanween. What will it be? Either sadiqun or sadiqan or sadiqin. So it will always have tanween if it's in first category.
How about the words with the no sign, something like that, bro? You don't know whether it's a tanween or not.
Well, that's the third category. Yeah. No, say again.
How about the words which have no sign? You don't tell us the tanween or dhamma at the end. Something like you just write alif ain ra alif ba ain ra, but we don't know is it the tanween at the end.
Oh, which example?
Yeah. I know what he's saying. If there is no harakat.
Yeah.
At the end?
Yeah.
There is always one.
That,
We
for
just
example,
don't-
if you wrote
maybe somebody
your-
just write. If you just write something like that, no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
you don't know.
If there are no harakas, yeah. You cannot. At this stage you cannot. That's why I will always put harakat.
Mhm.
And that is why in the Quran there are always harakat. But if you read Arabic books, they don't have. So you cannot tell. Okay? Because they require that you already know something about Arabic. But once we get to that stage, we should be able to identify by looking at the context. Because a noun, there must be a reason for a noun to be in this case or in this case. So by looking at the structure of the sentence, we can identify that here since it is coming as a subject, so it must be in this case, nominative case, right? So by looking at the structure, we'll inshallah identify. All right. Any other questions? No. Now there is third category, which is very small. In this category, the shape of the noun does not change. So it will stay the same word, same shape in all three cases. And there is just one identification that I know of, which is this. Which is this pattern, standing alif and ya. When it comes at the end, then those nouns are mostly from third category. For example, kubra. Kubra is big. So what will it be in the objective case? Kubra. And possessive case? Kubra. It will stay the same.
Is taqwa also the same?
Yes. So the words that are that come with this pattern, they are from third category.
It must be fatha, always fatha.
This is fatha and then ya. This pattern has a name also. It is called alif maqsura, and the nouns that have this pattern, they are from third category.
Is it always fatha? Or
Yes.
always
There are many words like husna, uzma, soghra, Isa, Musa, all are from third category. But they are not the only ones. There are many others for which there is no identification. So that's the tricky part in this category. There are many other words like hada. It will remain hada. Remain hada. And there are other words, tilka, tilka, tilka. There is, as I said, there is no identification for these, so we'll have to remember them. So I will keep telling you which, if it is from third category, I will specify so that you know. Hada means this for masculine. This for a masculine. Alright, so these are the three categories of nouns in terms of case. No noun is outside these categories. So now whichever noun comes, either it will be from first category, then it will have tanween, and which can be, we can identify it. If it is double dhammas, we'll know it is nominative. Fatha, it is objective, and if it is kasra, it's possessive case. If it does not have a tanween, but has either dhamma or fatha, then it's of course category 2, and that's how we will recognize it. And the third category, we'll have to remember the nouns which fall in the third category. Alright? But this is very small. So that completes the study of case. Alright? Now with this little knowledge, you should be able to read Quran and identify words and see which case, first of all, which category they are in, and then secondly, what is their case, right? Now let's move on to the, last time we studied some verses from the Quran, which we may do at the end if there is time. Let's now move on to the gender. Any questions so far? No. Alright, so how many genders are there? 2 masculine and feminine. There is, so every noun, whether it has a real gender or not, like for example table, it does not have a gender, right? But we will have to say either if it is a he or a she in Arabic. In Arabic there is no it. Okay? So either we'll say it is he or it is she. So there is no way to know by looking at the word if it is a masculine, but there are ways to know if it is a feminine. So the rule is, if we know about a noun that it is a feminine, then it's fine. Otherwise, we'll call it masculine. Alright, that's the rule. And so now we will study the types of feminine then, because we're more interested in this, because we can identify feminine nouns. Now, first type, and these are my names. I'm calling it real feminine.
How many types are?
3 types. Real feminine, the second is that I can guess. I'm calling it guessed feminine. And as heard. Third is as heard. I'll explain all of them. So first is real feminine. Now, as the name suggests, these are the nouns which correspond to objects in real world that have real gender. You know, they are really feminine. For example, cow, hen, okay, mother, daughter, these kind of objects that have real gender. So those are real feminine. Now again, they have 2 types. First type is those that cannot be identified from the word. Okay, they have no identification. And the second type is which have an identification. So let's talk about both. For example, ummun. Now, you will have to know the translation in order to know that this is a real feminine. There is no identification in this. So, ummun means mother. And so from the translation you may know that since it corresponds to a real gender, it is a real feminine. So, ummun is mother. And since it is a real feminine, there will be a corresponding real masculine. There will be a word. So, for ummun there is abun. Okay? Other words, ukhtun. Ukhtun is sister. And so it is a real feminine, has a gender. And the corresponding masculine would be akhun. Okay? And these two are those where we don't have an identification. And there are many other examples. Now, one example where we do have an identification as well, in addition to the translation, khalatun. Khalatun is khala, maternal auntie. Okay. So first we know from the meaning that it's real feminine, it's maternal auntie, has a gender, and the corresponding masculine is khalam. But it can be identified too. That's why, I mean, you can guess it also. If you don't know the meaning, you could guess also. But these are all examples of the real feminine. Alright? So they correspond to objects with real gender, and you have to know their meanings in order to know if they are feminine or not. Now the second category is guessed feminine. And this category has both real and unreal. Both types of feminine can be in this category. Like you could guess a feminine word which does not have a gender, and you could also guess that have a gender. Okay? For example, now let's see what are the three ways to guess a word if it is feminine or not. So there are three, I said, ways. One is it has ta marbuta at the end. That is a very basic identification for a feminine noun. If it has a ta marbuta at the end, it is a feminine. The second is if it has this combination, it is called alif mamduda, if you want to remember. Mamduda. Okay, and then the third is this that you have already seen. Alif maqsura. Maqsura. Right? My handwriting is poor, but you have to live with it. Mamduda and Maksura. So these three are identifications for a noun to be feminine. And as I said before, it could be real, but mostly it's unreal. Okay. For example, here, see, we have ta marbuta. So we could, by looking at the word, we could also guess that it is a feminine. But for others, we may not be. So those are other real nouns. Also, this is a way to make real feminine from real masculine. From real masculine to real feminine. This is the way to make a real feminine from a real masculine. But it does not always work. You know, it works to some of the cases. For example, if you have, what you do is, you change the last haraka to fatha and you append a ta marbuta. That's the rule. That's how you change a masculine to feminine. But of course you will do it with real, right? For example, there is khalun. Khalun means maternal uncle. Now you want, and it's a real masculine, you want to transform it into real feminine. What will you do? Change the last haraka to fatha and add this ta. So it will become khalatun, right? So this is a general rule. If you have sadiqun, which means truthful man, you can make a truthful woman. How? Same. Sadiqatun, right. What did you do? Put an alif on the last letter and appended a ta marbuta. So if you have Muslim, Muslim male, you could make a Muslim woman. How? Muslimatun, right. So not only this ta marbuta is an identification for feminine nouns, it can also be used to transform real masculines into real feminine. But not all will apply this thing. Like for example, if you have abun, okay, abun, you won't say abatun to make it mother. Okay, there is already a word umun for abun. So it applies to some of the nouns, not all of them. But mostly characteristics like sadiq, kadhib, mushrik, Muslim, these are characteristics. These are adjectives. This applies to most of them. Okay. Any questions? No. And so for real feminine, real gender, nouns having real gender, you could transform them to real feminine by adding ta marbuta. But it also applies to unreal. That's why I said it covers both, some real plus some unreal. And which are those that have ta marbuta at the end? Examples? There are many examples. Jannatun. Okay, Jannah is garden. It does not have a gender. It's unreal. But since it has ta marbuta, we can guess that it is a feminine. So that's why it is a guessed feminine. Okay? So we'll call garden as she, not he in Arabic. Similarly, if it is ayah, ayatun, this is also feminine. Now we are talking about unreal nouns, okay? Nouns with unreal gender. Okay, other shahwatun. Shahwat means lust. That is also a feminine. Why? Because it has ta marbuta and other words. But there are two exceptions as well that I told last time, that they have ta marbuta at the end, but they are not feminine. Okay, which are those? Yes. Khalifatun. So it has ta marbuta at the end, but this is not feminine. Khalifa means caliph, and it is masculine. This is, we're talking about exceptions now. Right? The other is Allamatun. Allamatun means scholar, very great scholar, big scholar. So that is also a masculine, although it has ta marbuta. These are exceptions. Ain, lam, alif, mim, and ta. Allamatun and khalifatun. So that is our first identification with circular ta, ta marbuta. Right? Now the second identification. We'll have to remember these three, right? And so the second is that have this pattern at the end. And the examples are here. Last time I gave these examples, so let me repeat them. Hamra'u. Hamra'u means red. And since it has this pattern, see? Fatha, Alif, and Hamza. Same pattern, right? So we can know that this is feminine. Similarly, Khad, this is Ra. Khadra'u. So it also has the same pattern. We will, by looking at this noun, we will know that this is feminine. Although it does not have a gender, we're talking about unreal genders. Right?
What's khadra?
It means green. So we'll call the color green as she. Okay. Sama'un also, yeah. That will be the feminine. Right? And also you will notice that the words that come with this pattern, they are mostly from category 2 in terms of case. No, it's my phone. So from, actually from whom? Alright, I'll pick it up next time. So they are from second category when it comes to case, right? Because they have single dhammas. So how will you change them here? It will become Hamra'a, and it will stay the same. Similarly, Khadra'a. Khadra'a, oh sorry, and Khadra'a. Yes.
What is the difference between khadra'un and akhdar?
Well, akhdar is another word to mean green. And there are other words actually, they all mean green, have some small little differences that we'll talk about later inshallah. So akhdar would mean green, but a little more green. Yeah, so greener maybe. Anyhow, so this is the second identification. The third one is this. So the words that have this pattern at the end, alif maqsura, they are also feminine. For example, husna. Okay, so you will know that this is feminine, and husna means beautiful or nice. Similarly, kubra, we saw that meant great, big. Uzma means great. These are all feminine. So this is the second the second type of feminine, which we can identify which we can guess. If they are unreal, we can guess by looking at ta marbuta at the end, or this pattern, alif mamduda, or this pattern, right? Now the third type of feminine are those, and they are all unreal. Okay, which do not have any identification, right? But they are unreal, but the native speakers call them as feminine. So we also shall call them feminine. For example, here let me give you some examples. Ardun. Ardun means earth. Oops. Do these. Earth. It does not have an identification, like it does not have it does not have this combination, it does not have this combination. So we cannot guess it. But it is still feminine. Why? Because Arabs speak it as feminine. So that's why I say as heard, as we heard native speakers. Yes.
So we need to memorize them?
Yeah, we'll have to memorize them. There is no way, no other way we'll have to memorize them. So I'll keep telling you about this type of feminines. There are other words. Harbun, which means war. It is feminine. Narun, which means fire. It is also feminine. But their case will change according to their category. That we understand, right? All these three, they are feminine, but they are in which category? In terms of case. First category, all three. So their case will change like that, like Ardun, Ardan, and Ardwin. Alright? Harbun, Harban, Harbin, Naran, Naran. Alright? So now we have covered the gender also. And whichever is not in this is what? Masculine. Alright? So three types of feminine. One is real. And when we talk about real feminine, there are many which have distinct words. Okay? There is no identification. So we'll have to learn them from their translation, like ummun, ukhtun. Alright? So they are real feminine. And then there are guessed feminine. We can identify them through through the shape of the word. And among them are some may be real and some may be unreal. So how can we guess? There are three ways. First, if there is a circular ta at the end, then it is a feminine noun. If it has this combination at the end, alif mamduda, it is a feminine. And if it has this combination, it is a feminine. And now, if we have some real masculines can be transformed to real feminines by adding this ta at the end. What we do is, we change the i'rab, we convert it to fatha and add a ta marbuta at the end. So it becomes feminine, from khalun to khalatun, sadiqun, sadiqatun, muslimun, muslimatun. But of course it will apply to real masculines. You cannot take any word in Arabic and try to make it feminine like this. No, it will apply to those which correspond to masculine, real masculine, but not all of them, some of them. Mostly those which are adjectives.
Is it also applied to animal?
Any
animal? Is it applied to animal?
Animal, yeah. Yes. Like heron, means cat, female, a male cat. So hirratun would be
Dajjal.
yeah, dajjal. Yeah, there is yeah. So that applies to animals also. All right. So this is one identification, main identification. We also talked about, and unreal will also fall in it, like jannatun, ayatun, shawatun. But there are two exceptions that we talk about. Have ta marbuta at the end, but are not feminine. Then the other two identifications, and we studied their examples. Now the third is those which do not have any identification, but they are feminine. They are unreal, but they are feminine. Why? Because Arabs call them feminine, so we have to. So these are the all the types of feminine and the ways to identify them and ways to transform them, and it completes this study. Any questions so far? No? Alright, now what we will do is, inshallah, take some noun and try to make all the forms that we know. For example, if I give you Muslimun, so you know that this is from first category in terms of case, since it has double dhammas. And you can change it to objective case. What will you make it? Musliman. And here? Muslimin. And now you can also, since it's also an adjective and real, you can also transform it into feminine, and you'll make it Muslimatun, and then Muslimatan and Muslima. And see, now we can make 6 different words from one noun, right? Because it's essentially the same, except that it means male, it means female. And these are also almost the same, except that they have different cases and genders. When we'll study all 4 dimensions, we will be able to make 36 forms from one word, right? That would be interesting actually. But that will cover noun from all dimensions. There can be nothing out of that, you know, all the possibilities. So, and inshallah at the end, when you read any noun in the Quran, you will be able to identify all 4 dimensions. And after that, first we'll familiarize ourselves with these shapes, and then we'll start studying rules. You know, when we are making sentences, there will be rules applied that which form I have to bring, what is the exact form. And once we know what these forms are, only then we can make the correct form, right? So it's important.
So you say that after this we will know how to use possessive?
Yes, yeah, because that's the goal. Otherwise it's useless just to identify them if we cannot like use them, or if you do not know why they are in this form, right? So now there are other words. For example, this word. For now, it will only have three forms, because it is a feminine from third type. It is feminine. Oh, sorry, second type. It is feminine. It is a guest feminine. Okay, it is unreal feminine, but it is feminine. Why? Because it has tamarbuta. So we cannot make it masculine. It does not have a gender. So we'll only have 3 for this: jannatun, jannatan, jannatin. Right? And then I also gave many nouns last time. Some of them will have 6 forms, and some will have 3. Those that have real gender, they will have 6 forms, and the others will have 3. Does anyone have that? Have those nouns. We can try to change their case right now, just for some practice. Just say it. Yeah, nafsun, okay. Or let me say them again.
From the first lesson?
No, from the second. Alright, let's take simple. So this is kafirun. Okay? You can change its case, right? What will you make it? Here? Kafiran. Kafiran. And here? Kafirin. Right. And since it's real, have real gender, I can transform it into feminine. What will it become? Kafiratun. And here it will become Kafiratan. And here it will become Kafiratin. Right? Because it had real gender, we could make 6 forms. Similarly, if you have this word, kadhibun, you should be able to make 6 forms from it. So I'm not writing. Let's do it verbally. So kadhibun, what will it become? Kadhiban. And here? Kadhibin. And feminine? Kadhibatun. Kadhibatan. Kadhibatin. Okay? Simple? Now let's take one unreal. A noun with unreal gender, like kitabun. Okay? Kitabun it does not have any identification to recognize it as a feminine. And it does not have a gender, we know. Okay, book does not have a gender. And now the question is, can we identify it as a feminine? No, because we read 3 identifications. Ta marbuta it does not have. Alif mamduda it does not have. Alif maksura it does not have. The third only possibility is if people say it as feminine. No, they don't. So it is a masculine. We don't know that people say it as feminine, so we'll take it as masculine. Kitabun, what will it become? Kitaban and kitabin. Now I cannot make it feminine because it's unreal gender. Okay. Similarly, nafsun. Nafs means self, and it also does not have a gender. And I cannot identify it as a feminine. It does not have any of the 3 identifications that we know. But Arabs call it feminine. So we'll call it feminine. And we'll change it to nafsan, nafsin. This is feminine. And it means self. Alright? And we won't try to make a masculine out of it because it does not have a gender. So it will have 3 shapes as of now. Last time I gave some words, and I can give some more, and we can just then stop there. So this is homework. You will have to make all possible forms Okay, change their cases and change their gender if you can. What are the words? And I'll tell you about the feminine and third category. Okay. First is akhun. This is a real masculine, and its feminine is ukhtun. So I have given you both. You don't have to worry. You will just change the case. Okay? It means brother and sister. Now the next is fasiqun. Fasiq means sinful, rebellious, sinful. And you can know that this is an adjective, right? So it's real. So you should be, yeah, it's man. So you should be able to make sinful woman out of it. Okay. Aris means groom. Okay. Aris. And it's real, right? But it has a corresponding feminine word, which is, you might know, arus. Okay, which means bride. So for you, you already know the feminine, okay, and vice versa, so you don't have to worry. Shadidun. Shadid means hard, tough, hard, difficult, complex, those kind of meanings. Shadidun. And since it's an adjective, you should be able to make the feminine. Okay, suqun. Suqun is feminine of third type. Okay. Arabs call it feminine. Suq means market. So you won't make a masculine for this. Ainun. Ainun means eye, or it also means spring, fountain basically, spring with fountain, something like that. And this is also feminine. Actually, I forgot to tell you that the names of countries are mostly feminine of third type. So they are mostly called she, okay, feminine. And also the parts of body that come in pairs, like we have 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 ears, 2 eyes. So these are also called feminine of third type. Okay. Now other words. Najjarun. Noon and Jeen. Najjarun means carpenter. Okay. And it also corresponds to real gender, right? So you should be able to make its feminine. And then Khabbazun. Khabbaz means bread maker, or person who makes bread. Bread maker. So it also corresponds to real gender. So you should be able to make the feminine. Khayyatun. Khayyatun. It means tailor. And tailor, it also has gender. So you should be able to make the feminine. Okay. Hada. This is from third category. I'm telling you, third category of noun in terms of case, and it means this for a masculine. And I'm also telling you it's feminine. Hadihi. So hadihi means this for a female. And this is also from third category of noun. So you should be able to change the case very easily. What will it be in the objective case? Hada. And the possessive case? Hada. It will stay the same. Same with this. Hadihi, hadihi, hadihi. So easy. And you already know both masculine and feminine. Alright? Let's do a few more. So if you change their cases and make their other gender, it would be a good practice. And just remember the meanings. Okay, Kabirun. Kabirun means big. It has a gender, so you should be able to make the feminine. Saghirun. Saghirun. Small. Should be able to make the feminine. Sadiqun we already did. Sadiqun, truthful. These are all male. You should be able to make females. Kadhib we did. You can do again. Means liar. Tawilun. Tawil means long. So you should be able to make feminine. Alright. 3 more words and we're done. Mutma'innun. Mutma'innun means what does it mean? Satisfied. Since it's an adjective, you should be able to make the feminine. Mutma'innun. This is Hamza, this is Noon. Alright. 2 more. Alladhi. Alladhi is for masculine. Who for a masculine. And this is from third category of nouns. So you will stay the same. Alladhi, alladhi, alladhi. And its masculine is allati. This is also from third category. It means who for a feminine.
Alladhi.
This is alladhi, this is allati for a female. This is ta, allati. I think should be enough. So this homework has some new words. Last one also had some words, so maybe you should combine the two and do the homework, inshallah. Okay, so inshallah next time we are meeting on a Sunday. So this is important. Next time it is Sunday, October 16th. October 16th, and the room number is also changed. It's a different room where we had our first lecture, 3418. So this is important. Next time, Sunday, in 3418, same hall, Lily Hall.